Hello and welcome. Today, some things have been done. I had my phone interview for the one job that actually, for the one place that actually replied back to my job application, and now there are a few more steps which I need to go through. There's gonna be a basically a talking. There's gonna be a basically I have to go to that place in person once more for another job interview. I basically had one job interview now per phone call for that one place, and I will have another in person if they like what I said in my phone interview. That's the thing. And if they don't, then they don't. Don't really care about that. Don't really care about it that much. Then that just means I have to keep on looking for some new jobs. But it could be much worse. And another thing. Today, my girlfriend and I went around, bought some things from a few markets for today's dinner for everyone, to help her mother out a bit. And while driving to two different stores, I remembered, well, I could apply for these jobs as well. So we went to one store. I applied for that one online already, but I still want to give in a job application in person as well, just to make a better, just to make a better expression, just to seem like, yo, he really wants it. He gave an application in through the online program, and he gives it in, and he gives us one in person. That's at least my thought about it. Maybe it helps, maybe not. I did the same thing with the other stores I applied to, and yeah. Well, at least one of them applied online, and it was the one store that said we only do online job applications. It was the only store that didn't take my job application that I had with me, which I wanted to give in person. But, well, oh well. At least I got one answer. And to maximize my chance of actually getting a job and being employed, I had the idea to go to another store and do the same thing basically once more. And one other thing, I think I'm gonna abuse some bugs in this game to get an infinite amount of diamonds. Whether it works on this version or not, I'm gonna have to see that and try it out. I've seen a YouTube short where a person did that with netherite and diamond blocks, and that way you don't have to farm that much of it, and I have more than enough diamonds now. So I should be fine. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm also thinking of taking this chest with me. Put that deep slate away, instead take the chests with me. Yes, that's good. And yeah, we did some shopping, as I said, together, my girlfriend and I applied to one job just now before the recording, or like rather half an hour ago, online, and I'm gonna apply to another in person, and I'm gonna go to the same place and give one in person as well, because for the other place I wanted to apply to, I didn't find anything online, so let's just try it out the old school way. And I just finished my daily things that I always do in Genshin Impact. I didn't do my Fortnite stuff yet, but that is fine because I still have time for that, and I just wanted to finish the recording beforehand because there are gonna be some guests around here soon, and that's why I want to enjoy this quiet time that I have right now and use it wisely, you know. And one thing I did that I'm not proud of is there's a currency in Genshin Impact which you can farm through offline stuff, which I did a while ago. Oh, deep slate. Cobalt deep slate and normal deep slate. Interesting. That is normal deep slate kind. Interesting. Okay, that is also cobalt deep slate. That is tough, and that is also deep slate. Okay, there's a difference in those as well. Didn't know that. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is played some Genshin Impact, and during that time where I played the game today and did my stuff, I had some primal gems saved up. That is the currency to make some wishes and basically to gamble away what you've earned through lots of hours to get a good character or perhaps a good weapon for a character so that you do more damage to enemies, simply said. And I was quite unlucky. I wanted to be greedy and go for some weapons, even though I only had like 40 wishes, and you need a bit more than that to get the weapon you want guaranteed. And now I have a bad feeling in my chest, you know, like I think it's a feeling of regret that I'm feeling right now, because I realized that I didn't do the right thing, but at least I didn't spend away my money, because a while ago I had a bad habit of spending my money. That was still in my time where I was learning to be a car mechanic and studying for it. And I made some rough and not so smart decisions back then, where I basically did just where I basically just wasted money to get more in-game currency, to get the currency that I need, the primal gems to get more wishes and to spend more on it and just waste more money. Wasn't really smart, I gotta admit that. Not proud of that move, which I did back then, but it was a lesson that I needed to learn. I spent a lot of money during that time in Fortnite. Like every month I spent like $100 or even a bit more than that. And I mean, every month I spent that much on Fortnite, and on certain characters I spent a few $100 as well to get some characters and weapons, which realistically, if you have really like a lot of money, like an amount where you can say that doesn't bother me, like if you are a millionaire, a billionaire, or you own a house and have hundreds of thousands of dollars, then that amount of money that I spent, like 1 or 2,000, that doesn't matter. But in my case, as a brokey, as a little broke boy that I am, I need that money to save up and use it for better things. But I didn't do that back then, and there were some nights where I was awake a bit longer with some thoughts of spending it away on basically gambling, but a dumber version of it because I didn't even have the chance to go out with profit, you know? And because of that, I'm not really proud of what I did. I'm pretty ashamed, I must admit that. I did something like this, and it wasn't really smart to do so, you know? I could have done much smarter things with my time. But here we are now. This is the way life goes, and you just have to deal with it. And through some time thinking and through some nights where I had extreme thoughts of spending even more money and slowly but surely realizing what is wrong with my head and giving myself time to think, I eventually realized and came to the conclusion that it's not worth it to spend that amount of money. It's never worth it to spend so much money on virtual things that don't even exist. But at the end of the day, we human beings, we give value to what we want and what we see. And so it may seem worth it to some people, but I'd say for virtual things, it's never really worth it, to be honest. There are much better ways and there's much better use to give away your money to at least a charity or something else. But, well, unwise little me, 1 or 2 years ago, didn't think so bright, was quite greedy, and through that greed there was a certain amount of pain in my chest, as I said, that felt like a pain of regret, which I needed to feel to realize that what I did was wrong and it wasn't worth it. So basically what I'm trying to say is, especially when you're in a position where you need to save money, where every little penny is worth a whole lot, which is basically my case, and I still live at my parents', but I do have my own bills to pay, hence that's why in my case a little amount of money is still worth a lot to me, and I needed that. I needed that to realize and learn that it wasn't worth it. But if you own a lot of money and you know how to get a lot of money, then it's your own decision as always to do what you want with it. I'm not giving out any financial advice, but if you don't have a lot of money, don't spend it on things you really don't need, especially if they don't exist and if they don't have any worth that you can convert into real assets or things that you can use to make more money out of it. In short, all I'm saying is, don't gamble away your money. It's not smart. I don't suggest any of you do it. I had my experiences with it. Not even gambling away real money, but rather said gambling away real money to get some virtual things out of it and not even get more money that I could use to do something. Like, I did a dumber version of your regular gambling. But yeah, moral of the story, as I said, don't gamble, never do it, it's a sin, and you will get greedy and everything, so it's not worth it. You can make jokes here and there about it, but in reality, I don't suggest you do it. Right now I still in Genshin, as I wanted to pull a certain weapon. I had that chest pain again, but the good thing was, it was just some hours that I spent in the game that I would have spent either way, and It's not the worst thing in the world that I didn't get that weapon, because the next characters that are coming out for the next couple of weeks aren't really that interesting to me, and it's fine. It could have been much worse. I'm very glad I didn't spend more money in that game. And yeah. All I can say is thank you again for watching. Thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for every comment, like, new subscriber. Thank you for being here with me, sitting here with me, listening to me talk. And thank you very much for 68 subscribers. We're almost at 69 subscribers, which would be a very nice and funny number. And as always, worry a little less, love a little more, live your life to the fullest. Enjoy your life as much as you can. Don't gamble it away. But don't forget to have some time, some fun sometimes. But be careful. Be careful. Especially when it's about real money. Be very careful with that. If it's some stupid in-game stuff that doesn't have any real worth, then it's alright. But in the grand scheme of things, don't gamble. So, thank you as always for watching. Have a wonderful and amazing day. And I'm gonna see you guys next time. Goodbye!